Okay, so you finally got that teaching gig and you can't wait to get in the classroom. But hold on, you got to get all that stuff they want you to teach. And yeah, it's a lot. And they give you like 12 hours of material to teach in an 8-hour block. So how are you going to do that? Hey, there's an idea. Let's use lecture. So get a blender and get all that stuff in there and fire it up because you need to make it all fit. Now pour all of that into your lecture and voila!
It is alive!
Okay, so now you're in the class and you're feeling really, really good because you're prepared and all that. And look, your students are ready to go. Here we go. Blah, 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Hey, they seem to be losing interest. Better pour on more lecture. Give it all you got. Well, that 8 hours finally ended. But what happened to your material? Looks like most of it fell onto the floor. Did the students take any of it with them? And how do you feel? A little flu-like? Sore throat? Sore back? Hey, lecture's hard work. You know, there is a better way. It's called adult learning, and a lot of people don't know about it like it's some kind of secret or something, but it's not really, and anyway, I have a key. So you want to know? Well, pull it out of there and open it up. Go ahead. Don't tell, ask. Yeah, see, when you're up there on stage and sending out all that material, well, some of it goes right over your students' heads, and other stuff students try to avoid because they don't think they really need it. And some students even deflect your material because it doesn't build on what they already know. It's not really the student's fault. Because, you know, when they're not involved, their minds wander and they get distracted, and it's very easy to sit back and pretend to listen. Meanwhile, you're up there doing all the heavy lifting, and as you've seen, lecture's hard work. So while you work, students sit there and wait for the end of the day. We call that passive learning, but really, is there any learning in there? So let's fix it by asking, not telling. Start with a question. So what would you do? And yeah, they probably won't answer right away, but wait for it, and there it is.
Well, I might do this, or maybe do that, or instead do this.
Yes, good job. And the next thing you know, that sparked an idea. And another student weighs in, and then it's like, hey, call on me, call on me. Or here's another way. Break the class into groups and give each group a question. Or better yet, each a separate question. Then have each group give their answer so you learn from this group and this one and that one until it's like, hey, everyone's teaching one another. Meanwhile, you're doing a whole lot less lifting and having more fun, too. Now back to another adult learning tip, the 85% rule. No, it's not really a rule, not exactly science, but what we find is if you just let them, students come up with about 85% of what you came there to teach. So find out what they know and teach the rest. Oh, and avoid using lecture to do it. It just wears both of you down. Better to use groups. Now sure, you can give the groups resources like books, a guest speaker, video clips, hey, maybe the internet. And sure, you can get a lecture in there too. And then one student gets it, and another until you've helped them all to learn for themselves. So test it out. Take what the groups come up with and put it next to your stuff. Yeah, they get about 85% of it. So find out what they know and teach the rest. Oh, and here's another thing about adult learning. Students like to be involved in the learning process and sharing what they know. And as they work harder in class, they learn more and remember it longer. Well, sure, not everything you sling is going to stick, but the odds are much, much higher that when students leave your class, the information they need sticks with them. Well, that's adult learning in under 3 minutes. And sure, there's more to learn about it, but you're off to a great start as a super trainer. So when you can, learn more about adult learning and keep improving your game. Your students will thank you for it.